Today we're going to get into a little bit of geometry as an intro piece since we're done with quadratics. We're going to talk about how to write the equation of a circle. So the general form of a circle or standard form is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equal to r squared, where our center is that hk and our radius is r. So if we are given a center or an hk, and a radius, we can write our equation. Our x and y, they're going to stay x and y. So we have x and y. So we have minus, again, inside our y. So x minus h, which was 5 squared, plus y minus k, which is 2 squared, is equal to 7 squared. And then we can simplify it, which is really just simplifying our radius squared. Make sure you have your parentheses in the appropriate spot. Equals 49. So if we were to deconstruct this and go backwards, we could pull out our hk. We could take the square root of 49 to get our radius of 7. Sometimes our radii are not super pretty, so this one would be x minus a negative 3. We'll simplify that in a minute. Squared, and y minus 4 quantity squared. And then we have 2 on the square root of 5 squared. So we can simplify our minus a negative 3. So 3x plus 3 quantity squared plus y minus 4 quantity squared. And if we think about this, 2 on the square root of 5 times 2 on the square root of 5. So we can multiply these numbers and we get 4. The square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is the square root of 25, which we know is 5. So if we're going to say 2 on the square root of 5 squared, we're going to get 20. Sometimes we're not given the radius and we have to use this is called the distance formula. You're going to see this a lot in geometry. Find the distance from the center to the edge of the circle, and that would be our radius. So we need to first identify and plug in to find that radius piece. So find r squared by plugging in some points. We're going to do this over here. So we have d. This is d for distance, not diameter. The distance, this can be x1 and y1, x2 and y2. It doesn't actually matter the order. Let's say 5 minus 4 quantity squared plus 3 minus a negative 7 quantity squared and make that a plus. And I'm just going to simplify this. So I have 5 minus 4 is 1. So I have 1 squared. 3 plus 7 is 10 squared. So now I have 1 plus 100. So my radius is the square root of 101. So now we can come over here. We have our hk. So x minus 4 quantity squared plus y minus a negative 7 quantity squared. And I have the square root of 101 squared. And we can simplify this. X minus 4 squared, y plus 7 squared. If we square a square root, we just get the number underneath. So 101. Here we have our center is our hk. So I can put my zeros here if I wanted. But we still have to find our distance. So I'm going to go ahead and use 0 so you can see what would happen. So negative 5 minus 0 squared plus 2 minus 0 squared. So I can simplify this. The square root of negative 5 squared plus 2 squared. Negative 5 times negative 5 is a positive 25 is 4. So my radius is the square root of 29. So because we're subtracting 0, if our center is our origin, then we can just write x squared plus y squared. And again, if we square a square root, we just get 29. So have some practice for you with an answer key to check your work. Please let me know if you have any questions.